Good afternoon and welcome to Two-A-Days on Packer Link Up. It is Monday, July 28th, and we are 14 days from the kickoff of preseason football. And this Saturday will be family night, so football has once again arrived in Packerland. Our top story, Ryan Grant apparently has gotten an offer from the Packers and is not just refusing to sign it, but is quote-unquote livid about the offer. His agent calls the offer one of these deals that has only 1.75 million guaranteed, calls it absurd. So Ryan Grant not happy at all and still not at camp, and we will keep you abreast of that situation because it looks like it may take longer to get him into camp than at first anticipated. Aaron Rodgers had his first practice leading the Green Bay Packers, and in the locker room afterwards was answering questions, said the team had a good practice, but there were some mistakes, as is to be expected, and that they'll go back and hopefully correct some of those mistakes and move on from there. Of course, most of the questioning for Aaron was about the Brett Favre, whether he might show up, how he might feel if he did show up. And Aaron said there was nothing between him and Brett, that if Brett were to happen to show up to camp, that he would welcome him. But he also said that he hadn't talked to Brett, not even at the ESPYs. So an interesting situation, and with no news about Brett as of right now, there still is on the horizon the possibility that if the deal doesn't get done to trade Brett, he may come back to camp. Personally, I will say this for Rodgers, though. He really handled this first day of questioning with a lot of poise. I think his kind of laid-back attitude will do him well and actually do the team well. He is a laid-back guy. He doesn't seem to get bent out of shape about things, but he is very much focused on football. So those two things together, I think if anybody can handle this situation and help the team navigate their way through it, maybe Aaron Rodgers is just the right kind of guy. So we will see. I think it mainly comes down, though, to how he plays. In other news, Justin Harrell is still sitting on the sidelines with his injury out for we don't know how long. He has said that he's frustrated about it, but that he's just doing what his doctor says, and hopefully we'll be back on the field soon. I think this year is going to be a very telling year for Ted Thompson. If, in fact, Brett gets traded or doesn't play at all, this will be the first year where, from pretty much start to finish, this is Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy's team. When the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, that he chose comes in, he's kind of the final cog in that machine. And unfortunately, with a first-round draft pick like Justin Harrell sitting on the sidelines, we don't know what's going to happen. With a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who's never started before, starting his game, and with his history of injuries, we don't know what's going to happen. On the other hand, if Rodgers is the kind of guy that can help the team navigate through this difficult time, and if Harrell can get back on the field and solidify our defensive line and maybe take a step forward and become the kind of player that Thompson thought he would be, our team may be in very good shape. So one way or the other, I think Thompson is going to be either proven right or wrong this season. There's either a perfect storm gathering behind him or perfection on the horizon, because they went to the NFC Championship, so the only improvement on that is going to the Super Bowl, and you're going to either win it or lose it, but either way, it's a successful season at that point. Do have one thing to rant about. I just can't get over it. This morning I said I wasn't sure whether the whole Ryan Grant issue with the contract negotiations, whether that was Ryan Grant being greedy or the Packers being cheap. Well, I am convinced now it's the Packers being cheap. 1.75 million guaranteed over 6 years for a starting running back. This guy will start for the Packers. I know that handling the salary cap is a difficult issue and teams get in trouble, but 1.75 million, that is not the issue. The issue for the Packers is that that Ryan Grant is an unproven commodity to them, and I'm kind of okay with that. But I'm just not okay with any thought that this has to do with salary cap and the money. There's plenty of money there to get Ryan signed. The question is whether they believe in him. They're out there saying they believe in Aaron Rodgers. They've got him on the cheap, and he's not holding out. But with Ryan Grant looking for more money, this is not a possible second string linebacker like Brady Papinga. This is Ryan Grant, your starting running back. Very important to get him signed. So closing, I'd like to say, as a matter of a spotlight, we here on Packer Link Up realize that Packer fans are under a great deal of stress right now. We're excited about the new season, but there's also a lot of stress with Brett Favre and a lot of unknowns with the team this year. So we have created a section on our site called the Straight Cheese, and we have filled it with photos that are called Caption of the Week. They're just humorous photos. Check them out. Find the Straight Cheese. There are satirical articles. There's no better medicine than to laugh at this point. We don't wish to demean any players with any of this. Their lives are just so much more interesting than ours that we have gone ahead and tried to tickle everybody's funny bone with a little bit of that, and it's all in fun. So if you need a little break from the tension, go to the Straight Cheese, read yourself an article, get a little bit of a laugh, and we'll be able to go on with our day. Well, that's all for now. I will see you hopefully tomorrow morning in the AM edition of Two a Day. It's like aspirin for your heart disease. You don't want to miss it. Bye.